What you eat directly affects your microbiome, the composition of bacteria in the intestines, on which the general physical condition of a person depends. Healthy intestines reduce the risk of chronic diseases, like heart disease and cancer, as well as remove inflammation, increase brain performance, and help control weight. It's never too late to change your eating habits, to get rid of pathogenic microflora in the intestines. Research shows that switching from a diet based on animal protein and carbohydrates to 70% plant foods diet can change the composition of the microbiome in as little as 24 hours. So how to do this? Eat more probiotics, prebiotics, fiber, polyphenols, and fermented foods. At the same time, try to avoid artificial sweeteners, red meat, processed foods, and alcohol. Now we're going to tell you about each of these categories and explain in detail why it is so important for intestinal health. Here are the top 17 foods that will make your intestines happy. But before we move on, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to watch the new videos. We're making interesting content for you every day. Probiotics. Probiotics are live bacteria and yeast that are good for you, especially for your digestive system. We usually think of bacteria as germs that cause diseases, but your body is full of them, both good and bad. Probiotics are often called good or helpful bacteria because they help keep your gut healthy. You can find probiotics in supplements and some foods, like yogurt or sauerkraut. Doctors often suggest them to help with digestive problems. Sauerkraut. Sauerkraut is made from cabbage and salt. During fermentation, microorganisms eat up the sugar in cabbage and release carbon dioxide and acids. The probiotics created during fermentation aid digestion and increase the number of beneficial bacteria in the intestines. 1 cup of sauerkraut contains 36% of your daily need for vitamin C and 56% of your daily need for vitamin K. Kimchi. Because it's made from fermented vegetables, this Korean side dish is a good choice for those who don't consume dairy, and it's a great source of dietary fiber and vitamins A and C. Kefir. Fermented dairy foods also contain these beneficial bacteria, which help to break down some sugars, such as lactose, making them easier to digest. Some studies show that dairy products with a probiotic Lactobacillus acidophilus, common in types of kefir whose labels say they contain live strains, can be safely consumed by people who are lactose intolerant. Kombucha. Kombucha is a fermented drink made from sweetened tea and a specific culture known as SCOBY. SCOBY stands for Symbiotic Culture of Bacteria and Yeast. The bacteria and yeast convert the sugar into ethanol and acetic acid. The acetic acid is what gives kombucha its distinctive sour taste. As kombucha is the product of fermentation, a number of probiotic bacteria are produced. At specific concentrations, probiotic bacteria can help to balance the gut microbiome in humans and improve digestion. Miso. In addition to containing probiotics, miso, made from fermented soybeans, is high in fiber and protein. To preserve the beneficial microbial content, add miso to foods after they've been cooked or heated. Tempeh. Tempeh is a fermented soybean product that originated in Indonesia. It's made by a natural culturing and a controlled fermentation process that includes adding a tempeh starter, which is a mix of live mold. When it sits for a day or two, it becomes cake-like fermented food. Tempeh can help increase the amount of beneficial bacteria in the gut, which can have far-reaching effects on health. Probiotics can help break down sugars and carbohydrates, so they're more easily digested, control harmful bacteria in the body, fight diarrhea, help with indigestion, fight chronic inflammation, and even boost immune system function. Yogurt. Yogurt is a dairy product made by fermenting milk with a yogurt culture. It provides protein and calcium and may enhance healthy gut bacteria. Research shows that yogurt containing probiotics improves intestinal and extraintestinal health and leads to improved immune and anti-inflammatory responses to infectious diarrhea and respiratory infections. Yogurt consumption has been associated with reduced risks of type 2 diabetes, metabolic syndrome, and heart disease, as well as improved weight management. By providing several key nutrients, yogurt is characterized by its live microorganisms, as well as strains of bifidobacterium and lactobacillus, added specifically for their probiotic properties. Both culture organisms may benefit from the gut environment and consequently have an impact on health. These probiotic properties are of great interest for research. However, not all yogurts are healthy. Those without added sugar or unnecessary additives can be a healthful addition to the diet, but some products have high amounts of added sugar and other ingredients that may not be beneficial. Natural yogurt can be a low-calorie, high-nutrient food packed with protein. Jerusalem artichoke. Another powerful dietary prebiotic is Jerusalem artichoke, a sunflower whose tuber can be eaten as a root vegetable. In its raw form, Jerusalem artichoke contains well-known prebiotics inulin and fructooligosaccharides. Several scientific studies have already examined and proven the prebiotic properties and effects of Jerusalem artichoke. Leeks. Leeks are similar to onions, so unsurprisingly, they have similar health benefits. Leeks contain up to 16% of inulin fiber, even higher than onions. Raw or roasted leeks are great additions to salad and any other dish to boost the onion-garlic flavor profile. Onions. About 10% of the fiber found in onions is made of inulin with compounds that also help to break down fats and keep the gut flora going strong. Remember that raw onions are more potent than cooked ones. Raspberries. 1 cup of raspberries contains 8 grams of fiber, which is about a third of the daily need. Raspberries are a great source of polyphenols, powerful antioxidants that are beneficial for the intestinal microflora. You can eat raspberries fresh, but they retain their properties even after being frozen. You may add the berries to yogurt, oatmeal, or high-fiber cereals. Beans and legumes. 1 cup of legumes can provide half your daily fiber and probiotics, and at a cost of just pennies per portion, they're a great deal. Asparagus. Asparagus is not only a powerful intestinal prebiotic, it also has a property to protect the body against certain types of cancer. The plant contains glutathione, an antioxidant that fights free radicals and other inflammatory compounds in the body. Cooking asparagus takes no more than just 15 minutes. Add some olive oil, salt and pepper to the stems and bake them in the oven at 180 degrees for 10 to 15 minutes. Garlic. Adding this spice to your dishes can have a real medicinal effect. Garlic reduces the risk of heart disease and also has anti-inflammatory effects in the body. Inulin and fructooligosaccharides, the 2 main fibers of garlic, are also a dynamic duo of prebiotics. Bananas. Green bananas to be precise. Yes, the unripe bananas. No, they're not the sweetest snack ever, but they're a great source of prebiotics or resistant starch. This fiber can increase healthy gut bacteria and reduce bloating. You can eat unripe bananas plain for a fiber boost, but it's easier to get this source from green banana flour, a grain-free wheat flour alternative that is very versatile with amazing benefits. Pears. Pears are a prebiotic gut-healthy food that contains pectin, a compound that lowers cholesterol levels. 1 medium-sized pear contains 5.5 grams of fiber and only 100 calories. Add some cinnamon to fresh pear slices for a delicious snack, or mix diced pears with the oatmeal. Oatmeal fiber, known as beta-glucan, also lowers cholesterol levels. Watermelon. Watermelon is rich in prebiotics. 1 cup of its pulp contains 1 gram of fructan and 14% of the daily vitamin C norm. And vitamin C is an antioxidant that takes part in the formation of collagen and increases the absorption of iron by the body. Polyphenols. Polyphenols are plant-based chemicals that are also beneficial for gut microflora. They're contained in berries, apples, artichokes, red onions, tea, dark chocolate, and other fruits and vegetables. And now we're going to tell you about foods that are harmful for your intestines. Artificial sweeteners. People have been consuming artificial sweeteners for more than a century in order to add a sweet taste to foods and beverages without adding the negative effects of sugar and other high-calorie sweeteners. Artificial sweeteners tend to be cheap, contain very few calories, are thought to be better for blood sugar levels, and theoretically generally healthier than caloric sweeteners. Therefore, they're extremely common food additives worldwide. However, researchers believe that artificial sweeteners could be altering our gut microbiota, resulting in glucose intolerance in individuals who consume these products. Red meat. According to research, carnitine, a compound found in red meat, interacts with gut bacteria and forms trimethylamine oxide, which in turn is linked to atherosclerosis, a buildup of plaque in the arteries. This leads us to the conclusion that the connection between red meat and heart disease is not just about saturated fat and sodium. How gut bacteria interact with red meat can also play a role in atherosclerosis. So eat red meat in moderation and regularly replace it with fatty fish, chicken, or plant-based proteins such as tofu and tempeh. Processed and refined foods. Processed foods such as ready meals, baked goods, and processed meats can have negative health effects. Most food needs some degree of processing, and not all processed foods are bad for the body. However, chemically processed foods, also called ultra-processed foods, tend to be high in sugar, artificial ingredients, refined carbohydrates, and trans fats. Because of this, they're a major contributor to obesity and illness around the world. Ultra-processed foods tend to taste good and are often inexpensive. However, they usually contain ingredients that could be harmful if consumed in excess, such as saturated fats, added sugar, and salt. These foods also contain less dietary fiber and fewer vitamins than whole foods. One large study involving more than 100,000 adults found that eating 10% more ultra-processed foods was associated with above a 10% increase in the risk of cardiovascular disease, coronary heart disease, and cerebrovascular disorders. The researchers reached this conclusion after accounting for saturated fat, sodium, sugar, and fiber intake. Other research indicates that eating highly processed foods can lead to weight gain. Alcohol. Research from all around the world have shown that alcohol consumption alters the gut microbiome. However, there's not enough research on the effects of moderate alcohol consumption on gut bacteria and the interaction of polyphenols in red wine with the gut. If you enjoy drinking spirits, be sure to do so in moderation. No more than 1 glass of wine a day for women and no more than 2 for men. In the end, it all comes down to eating lots of fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and whole grains for prebiotics, and fermented foods like yogurt and kombucha for probiotics. Eat processed foods in moderation and avoid added sugar, salt, artificial sweeteners, and alcohol to keep your gut microbiome working and your risk of chronic disease low. Like the video, subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to watch the new episodes and big progress. Also, don't forget to share your opinion on the topic in the comment section. See you soon, dear friends!